Hi everyone, I'm Leo and welcome back to Cooking with Thermomix. Today we'll be making healthy banana bread on our Thermomix TM6 machine, and this recipe is only available for TM6. Banana bread is a great choice, and by choosing a healthier option we're able to enjoy our favorite foods even while maintaining our health. So let's get into introducing our ingredients we need today for our healthy banana bread. First of all, we'll need 225 grams of buckwheat flour, which I've got already prepared in my Thermomix machine because I've just milled it from buckwheat. If you set your Thermomix to speed 10 and use it for about a minute, it can mill your bucks for you. So you can try that yourself at home. So now to move on to our other main ingredients. First of all, we've got our coconut sugar, our baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, our baking powder, you need ground cinnamon, salt, rolled oats, desiccated coconut is right here, chia seeds, 4 ripe bananas, however I'm only using 3. If you want an extra one, you can use one for decorating. Otherwise, you can just use 3. You'll need 1 egg, which I've got right there. You need natural yogurt, grapeseed oil, which I'm using olive oil instead. It shouldn't matter, any type of vegetable oil should work. We'll need vanilla bean paste, it says, but I will be using vanilla bean extract instead, whatever to get that vanilla bean sort of taste. And then if you would like, you can have maple syrup for drizzling over the top, however I won't be including that today. So let's press the start button. Our first step is to preheat the oven to 160 degrees and then setting my temperature to 160 degrees for preheating. So we'll need to line a loaf tin with baking paper and set aside, so I've done that already. Here's my loaf tin, here's my baking paper. And you just put that aside as we wait and we do the rest of our recipe. And then we move on to our next step. So for our next step we need our 225 grams of buckwheat flour, which I've already got in my Thermomix machine. As I mentioned earlier, I've already milled it, so we can move on to our next step. We need our 150 grams of coconut sugar. Don't forget to tare to make sure that it's at 0 grams. And your Thermomix machine should weigh it for you. So, for the sake of health purposes, I'll be cutting it down to about 70 grams of coconut sugar. However, it does depend on your own personal preferences, and sugar can be added to taste accordingly. We need our 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which I've got right here. For my teaspoon measure, and I'll just be getting a nice teaspoonful and putting it right in. And we can move on to our next step. Next we need our 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which same thing as the baking soda. Just grab your teaspoon measure, grab a nice teaspoon, pop it into the Thermomix machine. Press next step. Finally, we have our ground cinnamon, which is also a teaspoon. Here we have approximately a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'll put it in. Half a teaspoon of salt, putting it in. And then our next step will be to put on our lid and let the solution mix for 5 seconds at 4 speed. Now that our mixture has finished mixing, we can go to our next step and start putting in our rolled oats. So I've got my rolled oats here. Don't forget to tare so that the scale can go back to 0. Now that we've measured out our 60 grams of rolled oats, we can go to our next step to add our 20 grams of desiccated coconut. Same as before, don't forget to tare. Adding 20 grams. Grab a tablespoon of chia seeds, doesn't have to be too exact. Put it in. On to our next step. We inserting the lid putting the lid back on our Thermomix machine, and then we'll be mixing it for another 5 seconds. Now that our chia seeds have mixed and our other ingredients have mixed, we can go to our next step. And now is when we add in our bananas. Here I've got my 3 ripe bananas, cut into quarters into the Thermomix machine. And then for our next step, we have our egg. My egg here, also into the Thermomix machine. We've got our 140 grams of natural yogurt. Now we'll be adding our yogurt in. Cool, that's 140 grams. Now we can press our next step and add in our oil. Make sure your scales are 0, and we need 45 grams of oil. Now we've got our 45 grams of oil. Onto our next step is to put in our vanilla bean paste. So I'll be putting in vanilla bean extract and approximately the same amount. So at 1 teaspoon, I'll be measuring out a teaspoon of extract and putting it into my mixture. Now that our teaspoon is in, we can go to our next step, is to put our lid on. Let the mixture mix for 15 seconds this time at speed 4. And now we are pouring our mixture into our prepared loaf tin from the start. Take the lid off. The mixture should look something like this. It smells really nice as well. And then along with your spatula, get your mixture into your loaf tin. Now our loaf is ready to go into our preheated oven. Now it's instructed us to bake for 60 minutes at 160 degrees or until a wooden skewer inserted into the center of the loaf comes out clean. So I will see you all in approximately an hour. Here is our finished banana bread. It just came out of the oven. After you wait for it to cool down a bit, you can pull it out of its mold and it will be ready for consumption. You'll just need to chop it into slices. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any questions for me or would like to ask anything regarding the Thermomix machine, or if you would like me to cook any recipes that you want to see, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, in the description, there are Chinese guides available. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.